and over, the only thing that can lose you these 36 months is misconduct in between plea and sentence. Do not continue to contact the victim. You will lose this 36 months. Don't do it. And then he did it.
Sir, this isn't a love story. This is a horror story.
A man stood in front of a Michigan judge and called himself a victim. He had just pleaded guilty to strangling the mother of his 4 children. He had spent months sending her secret letters from jail under fake names, and somehow he still believed he was the one being wronged. What this judge said to him next would become one of the most quoted courtroom moments of the year. But to understand why her words hit so hard, you need to understand exactly how far this man pushed a system designed to protect the very person he kept trying to silence.
Over and over, the only thing that can lose you these 36 months is misconduct in between plea and sentence. Do not continue to contact the victim. You will lose this 36 months. Don't do it. And then he did it.
Sir, this isn't a love story. This is a horror story.
In addition, when we were last here, because he admitted to the violations, you said if it comes to that competent, he's already being found guilty of the contempt and being sent for 93 days. So that was December, what was it, 17th? December 17th.
The case began with a plea deal. The defendant agreed to plead guilty to assault with a dangerous weapon, assault by strangulation, and domestic violence, third offense.
Okay, well, first of all, that's full, fair, accurate, and complete.
At this point, yes, Your Honor.
And is that what was conveyed to you? Is it full, fair, accurate, and complete?
Yes, Your Honor.
And is it your intention to take it or to go to trial?
To take it.
Did you and she have some kind of disagreement?
Correct, Your Honor.
And did you end up assaulting her?
Yes, Your Honor.
Was that with a dangerous weapon?
Correct, Your Honor.
And was that a gun?
Correct, Your Honor.
And was this done out of anger?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you wanted to place her in fear, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you assault her by putting your hands on her?
Yes, Your Honor.
And was it in the area of her neck or throat?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you press against her neck or throat hard enough where she could have trouble or did have trouble breathing?
Yes, Your Honor.
You and she
In exchange, prosecutors offered a fixed minimum sentence of 36 months.
The offer is for the defendant to plead guilty to count 2, felonious assault, to counts 3, assault by strangulation, and count 4, domestic violence, third offense notice. This puts guideline range at 38 to 76. There was a agreement where if it was not accepted when we were here yesterday or last week, that day, disagreement would be gone. Of a fixed minimum.
That number mattered. A fixed minimum sentence is a guarantee built into a plea agreement. The defendant accepts responsibility, and in return, the court commits to a specific floor on punishment rather than leaving it open-ended. There was only one condition attached to that promise.
What about no contact that I've explained to you multiple times? Do you not understand? No contact means she doesn't exist in your world. No phone calls, no letters via handwritten email, no messages by carrier pigeon, smoke signals, third parties. You don't get creative. Or what I have to do is call the sheriff and say, put him in max. I am trying to do what's in your best interest, whether you believe it or not. But you have to be part of the solution, not the problem.
Yes, Your Honor.
So I suggest you understand that no contact means that Ms. Beauchamp does not exist in your world. Consider her gone.
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you're not getting into jail?
No, Your Honor.
No contact with the victim between the plea and sentencing. None. Not a call, not a letter, not a message passed through a third party. The judge had said it plainly more than once. Violate that order and the deal disappears.
Please, the only way you can lose out on the 36 months at this point is by violating the orders of the court between now and that sentencing date in June. If you do that, you are still stuck with the charges you pled guilty to, but I am no longer bound, the court's no longer bound by the 36-month agreement. Do not violate again.
Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
He violated it almost immediately.
Since then, he has been sending the victim letters from jail using other inmate accounts. The jail sent us one on last Friday that was sent out December 29th. And then another one I received at midnight that was sent on the 22nd, so 6 days ago.
So how is he doing this? Electronically?
No.
From jail, he began sending letters under other inmates' names, hoping the redirected paper trail would hide his handwriting from the system tracking his communications.
It was said pretty point blank, you're given rope. Don't hang yourself here. He was told over and over by myself, by the court, and by his own attorney, over and over. The only thing that can lose you these 36 months is misconduct in between plea and sentence, which can cover many things, but specifically for you, do not continue to contact the victim. If you violate the no contact order again between plea and sentence, you will lose this 36 months. Don't do it. And then he did it. He then denied doing it.
He coached the victim on what to say in court.
Over and over, he denies it until he's ultimately confronted with irrefutable proof. Over and over. At one point, he actually claimed his mental illness made him do this, and then, of course, we realized that was not the case. I am going to read one of the letters that he tried to send her from jail. He writes, "Dear Queen, hey, how's everything going? I hope okay. Thanks for not letting me know the gender of our starseed, let alone the name," which is very foul. You know I'm really trying to have a very positive outlook on things, especially when it comes to us. I mean, if us is even a thing anymore, I wouldn't know. I can only assume we're still. I can only assume you're still waiting on me, waiting on my return, just letting you know every night I think of you and our starseed. It's very stressful when I haven't heard from you since September 20th, while still confused about what I did. Like, can't you please have some sort of respect for us and all we have and been through, to tell me what I truly did wrong, for you to leave me on stuck, to leave me on silent, to not allow me to hear our starseed's voices, which again is foul. No one deserves to be treated how you doing me. I really thought you had a pure heart. I really thought I thought it was forever and always. Like, how do you truly just break our bond that fast? Please don't do me like that. I love you, Queen, and forever. You said you could wait 3 years, at least give me in that. Don't allow our starseeds to see you with another. I need you badly, and I pray you still want and need me also. Any way to give you an update on these cases? They still try to send me up the road. I need you to please show up to my court date on the 28th of January. Not sure the time, but you can look on 30th Circuit Court page, find Aquilina, and find my name to see the time. But I need your help, please, to win these cases. Please don't allow me to spend years away when you can help me. I just need you to either show up and let them know I'm innocent, or may you write a letter to Aquilina, please. Her address is Rosemary Aquilina. Please, I beg of you to offer your help, aid, and assist the father of your kids. Please do it for us, do it for them. Don't take away their dad and allow them to grow up without me when you can help. This is the only thing I beg of you to do. Please, and write back, please. And then there's another letter he put in here. I miss every part of you. If you're doing this to hurt me, you're winning the roll-up. But I would never just leave you in jail not knowing anything. Don't you think I want to know our newborn name? Correct? Yes, I do. I know you out there living your best life, but please don't forget about me. I cry at least once a week thinking about you and the kids. Queen, please don't let them grow up without a dad like I did. We owe it to them. I owe it to them. We used to talk daily, and I even got more charges added because of doing so. Then now you just cut me off. May you send me a number to call you on. I have nobody in here besides you. I need food. Also, it's like I'm expressing myself to a ghost. Now think of your words in honor that you told me of. Now I'm left with more charges from talking on the phone to you, and left from you getting kited 2 times, but I still love you. Please show up to court and send a letter. So please write another letter to the judge and show up to court on my behalf. That's the only way I'm going to beat these cases, is that you show up to court and show out. I hope there's still love between us.
He told her to claim the abuse never happened. He told her to tell the judge he was innocent.
No, physical written letters to other inmate accounts. So he is telling her to add these other inmates, that way they can text with each other. And he's telling her to contact you to get the case dismissed. He told her to show up today and say that he's innocent.
Is she here today?
This is witness interference. attempting to influence testimony or silence a victim, and it is a felony in its own right, separate from the crime he was already being sentenced for.
But it's additional felony charges, and he's just not stopping.
Do you like being locked up in the cage?
No, Your Honor.
Do you like wearing a jumpsuit?
No, Your Honor.
Do you like the bed over in the jail?
Not at all, Your Honor.
How about the food?
Horrible, Your Honor.
Each letter was a new violation stacked on top of the last.
He has been telling her from the beginning of this case, this is her fault. He has been telling her that she needs to come and say what she said today to try and make this all go away. He has been telling her as recently as 5:08 p.m. yesterday, because he continued to call her, calling his friend Dorian Price and having him do a three-way call with the victim, and telling her it's also her fault for all of the contacts that have happened in violation of the court's orders. Instructing her to come to court, make a victim impact statement, and they also to specify about how she needs him out for their children. This man won't stop. It was said.
Here's where it gets personal for anyone who has ever worked under someone who breaks their own rules and expects everyone else to follow them anyway. Picture a manager who tells the team no exceptions, then quietly bends the policy for himself the moment no one's watching. Multiply that hypocrisy by the stakes of a woman's safety, and you start to understand the kind of pressure this victim was living under. The hero of this story wasn't a lawyer or a detective. It was the judge herself, and she risked something real every time she held the line. Holding a defendant accountable mid-case invites appeals, invites accusations of bias, invites exactly the kind of confrontation that played out in her courtroom. When the defendant accused her of treating him unfairly, she didn't flinch, she didn't soften. She read his own letters back to him, word for word, including one line that exposed everything he had begged the victim to lie to the court on his behalf. The same court he was now claiming had wronged him. That single contradiction is the kind of moment that becomes its own clip. A man pleads guilty to strangling his children's mother, then tells the judge, under oath, that this is just a love story.
Sir, what would you like me to know? Remember, you're still under oath.
Yes, Your Honor. I would like you to know that I'm not a troublemaker. I'm not whatever anybody opposes me and thinking that I am. I'm not that. This is just a love story. A person that's in love with his woman and in love with his kids. That's what I am. I'm not no career criminal. You see my background, and I don't have a substantial. I have misdemeanors. I'm not a felon. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I want to know, and I want to say I apologize to the courts for doing what I did as far as communication.
Sir, this isn't a love story. This is a horror story.
She didn't let that stand for 1 second. Sir, this isn't a love story. This is a horror story. The prosecutor laid out the evidence the violations had triggered. It's 9 potential felony counts of witness interference, a conspiracy to suborn perjury, meaning he had attempted to get someone to lie under oath on his behalf, a serious charge layered directly on top of the underlying violence.
Then, on Monday, after that hearing, he continued to message Dorian Price at 9:01 p.m. on Monday, say, WTW, I don't know what that's abbreviation for. Brother, text Whoop and say, I'm gonna give my lawyer her number. She gotta be Taylor. They're trying to give me 5 years. He then did a video visit with him, reiterating, check your messages, check your text, check the text I sent. She needs to talk to my lawyer. She has to be Taylor, the fake name. The person who's, again, the story is still saying Monday, which is it wasn't the victim, it was actually Taylor. I said on Monday, I was looking to have the Kilbrews nullify his actions, and instead of 36 months, I was going to be asking for 60, 5 years. I said on Monday that's my intent was. And then he continued to violate the orders of the court and then try and even use his lawyer, unknowing to her, to commit a fraud upon this court and suborn perjury. He continued to contact her last night, again, as late as 5:08 p.m., off another inmate account, off another way to try and evade detection. He will not stop. If I wanted to, I could charge him with about 9 different counts of felony witness interference, and now I make potentially conspiracy to suborn perjury.
The 36-month agreement was gone. The prosecutor now asked for the maximum allowed under sentencing guidelines, served consecutively rather than concurrently. meaning the sentences would stack one after another instead of running at the same time.
And stalking.
I'm not asking for 5 years anymore. I'm asking you sentence him to the top of the guidelines consecutively across his files. That being 24 months consecutive with 67 months, because he chose this over and over. He chose these consequences, and he tried to rope in the mother of his child. He had the mother of his child in front of this court just admit to what are felonies, that he knows are felonies, lying to officers, because he doesn't care. He made this choice. Give him what he's asked for.
So here's a question worth sitting with. If a defendant violates every condition of a plea deal designed to protect a victim, should the court ever honor any part of the original agreement at all? Or does breaking trust once mean forfeiting every benefit of the doubt forever? So when the mother of his children stood up to address the court, she apologized. She blamed herself. She said she didn't want their children growing up without a father.
Raise your hand up. What would you like me to know?
I feel, although our childhood doesn't define us, I truly believe that it shapes us into a person unintentionally, carrying trauma and negative emotions that never had a chance to heal. And although Tyrone is not a saint, I believe he has true purpose and full intentions of being a positive person. I have already formally acknowledged to the court that I have made false allegations and provided false information. And I have accepted responsibility for my consequences of those actions. I have also made it clear that the father of my children is not a threat to me or my children. I live with tremendous guilt knowing that my actions contribute to circumstances that have placed the father of my children in jeopardy and separated him from his family. One of our children has never even had an opportunity to meet their father. He has missed milestones, first everything, and most importantly, memories that can never be recreated. Without them, my children will grow up without knowing the love and the presence of their father because of circumstances I help create is something that weighs heavily on me every day. I know the love he has for his children. I see the impact of his absence every day, and I believe our children are paying the highest price for this. I am writing a statement to not avoid responsibilities for my own actions. I accept responsibility and continue to live with the regret of decisions that can contribute to the situation. If I could take back all this pain and consequences that have resulted from my actions, I would. I can only be honest now and speak from my heart and what this has meant for our family. I respectfully ask the court, may they consider my acknowledgement of wrongdoing, my correction of false allegations that I previously made, and the profound impact that the separation has had on our children. I understand I cannot change the past, but I hope my honesty, my accountability, and my sincere remorse will be taken into consideration. Thank you for your time, consideration, and understanding.
It was the kind of statement that sounds like remorse, but is actually fear wearing remorse's clothing.
Ma'am, I find your statement very sad. You didn't do anything wrong. I understand how very difficult it is to be a single mom. I am a single mom. For most of my life, I worked 5 jobs to pay for those kids. I never received child support. I get it. But here's the thing, man. You chose your kids, and that's the most important decision you could make. You also have to choose yourself and not apologize for being struck. The officer noted Beauchamp's visible injuries, including red marks on her neck, a cut on the inside of her bottom lip, and redness and swelling around her right eye. The officer took photographs. You were seeing black dots. He tried to stop you from exiting. You tried to push past him. He punched you in the face a number of times with closed fists. The evidence shows that, and he's caused them emotional trauma. He's caused you physical and emotional trauma to the point where you feel guilty about what he did. You feel like you put him behind bars. The only one that put him behind bars It's him. I had to hold him in contempt for 93 days because of his behavior.
The judge recognized it instantly. She told her, gently but unmistakably, that she had done nothing wrong, that the only person responsible for the children losing their father was the man who chose violence in the first place.
He likes control. You don't deserve to take blame. It does not belong to you or to tell this court that this didn't happen, because I know it did, because this isn't just you talking. Law enforcement did a good job of documenting your injuries, man. In the heat of the moment, you told the truth. So while you are saying these things in front of him, so he doesn't get mad at you, I understand this dynamic. Don't keep choosing the kind of man that shows love with a fist.
Then came sentencing. 24 to 48 months for assault with a dangerous weapon, 67 to 120 months for assault by strangulation, 38 to 60 months for domestic violence, third offense. The sentences stacked, pushing his total exposure to roughly 8 years before any consideration of parole timing. It was not the maximum the prosecutor had requested. It was not the minimum he had originally bargained for either. The system delivered consequences, but anyone hoping for the absolute ceiling walked away with a sentence that still leaves room for him to be released in years, not decades. A reminder that even after months of documented manipulation, the law moves within its own boundaries, not the boundaries demanded by outrage. What this case really exposes is how much power a single piece of paper, a no-contact order, actually holds, and how quickly that power evaporates the moment someone decides the rules don't apply to them. It also exposes how often victims are made to feel responsible for consequences that were never theirs to carry. The lesson here isn't really about one man in one courtroom in Michigan. It's about recognizing manipulation dressed up as love, accountability dressed up as victimhood, and a justice system that, however imperfectly, still has people inside it willing to call a horror story exactly what it is. If there's a courtroom moment, a case, or a judge's ruling you want broken down next, drop it in the comments below. Subscribe so you don't miss the next case, and share this with someone who needs to understand exactly how this kind of manipulation works.